So, Mr. Walk, do you know why you're here? I dared go where no man would. Don't play coy with me, Mr. Walk. So how did this start? It all began with Radiohead album reactions. I was naive. I was anticipating expanding my musical scope, but I didn't know how far it would go. But you didn't stop there, did you? Did you? What was that? I asked the questions here, Mr. Walk. I made a video purely for entertainment. It was to bring viewers along the process of writing a song in the style of an artist I loved. I titled it How to Write a Radiohead Song. It was beyond blasphemous. Have you no remorse? My only regret was getting caught. Mr. Walk, you'll be sentenced to a minimum of 3 years. 3 years of comments telling you that you are a pathetic, inconsequential, illiterate, ego-inflated placing yourself in the same universe as Thom Yorke.
The entire How to Write a insert band name song series is how I actually started this channel. Most of you younger whippersnappers will have come from my reactions or my later content, but in reality, how I started the channel was with original music, how to write a song in the style of a certain artist, and the idea of different artists covered each other. So like classics, like if Bohemian Rhapsody was by Muse. Probably the most popular one was If Havana Was a Muse song. It came across as like a tutorial for people who wanted to write music in the style of their favorite artists, but in reality, it was a way for me to articulate myself and to try to emulate and mimic artists that I really valued and appreciated and try to write in new and different styles. Part of the reason I stopped doing them was, well, you probably could guess from the previous clip, was because of a lot of the negativity in the comments. Just to address this first, this video is for fun. That is all. I know I'm not as talented as Thom Yorke, not as talented as Radiohead, and I'm not trying to be. And that's not the point of this either. The point isn't to narrow down artists that I love to simple formulas or trends and try to distill that into a way where you could copy them, because that's not really how the best bands work. They're always pushing the boundaries, always doing something new, and that's definitely true of Radiohead. But that's kind of what I'm gonna do now anyways.
Sorry for a lot of the background noise on this camera. It's not the best at that. It's also not the best in low lighting, but you know what? We're doing what we can here. And that's all that matters, right? So the first thing you gotta do when you're writing a song, style of a new artist, is you gotta listen to their music. You guys have probably heard OK Computer 50 times as many times as I have. I'm not typically an album listener. So I listened from front to back a few times. I took notes on tempo, melody, and chord progressions, but at the end of the day, when it comes to making music, it can be very paralyzing because there's so many steps to it. It's almost a world of infinite possibility, and with that actually comes a lot of stress in actually being able to find where to start. You know, the more you write, the higher percentage that what you write won't be garbage. At some point, you just gotta sit down and start writing, and the part that stuck out to me was kind of like the rhythm used in the guitar part of Paranoid Android. My aim for this song was to sort of be like a Frankenstein's monster of sorts, where I took my favorite aspects, or just different aspects of different songs on the album, and maybe even outside of the album, and also try to create something hopefully a little new and fresh and enjoyable. Anyways, let's get to that picking pattern from Paranoid Android, as it's the most iconic song. Bobby. Oh, he loves it out here. So if you remember from Paranoid Android, the guitar goes something like...
And that's going to be like the core rhythm of the verses of the songs, which do go like this. Albeit a little bit slower. Something I've noticed in multiple songs throughout Radiohead's discography is this tendency to use complex chords, but also to keep those higher notes of the chord during a chromatic descension or ascension, or just general chord changes. So that is found in that Paranoid Android section where he sings the line, "What's this?" I'll play the section for you now. If you notice, those notes at the top of that progression happen to continue during the descending bass line and as the chords change. I tried to incorporate that into the song as well. I'll play it here. Now, right before sliding into that chorus, sliding right up in that chorus. Why did I say that? Before sliding into the chorus, I sneak in a little bit of Subterranean Homesick Alien in kind of like that intro guitar part that comes in. Now, undeniably, the chorus is pretty similar to No Surprises, but that is somewhat intentional because what I've noticed is there's kind of a dichotomy within the album, and that's this really heavy,
darker, raw side.
The end of exit music in sections of Lucky, and definitely in Climbing Up the Walls. And that's also contrasted with some of the beautiful, lighter moments of the record, such as found in No Surprises. So I wanted to find a way to incorporate both of those into my song. Finding a way to combine songs like Climbing Up the Walls and No Surprises is understandably challenging, in one song at least. I utilized the chord progression found in the No Surprises chorus. It's just so beautiful and such a unique progression. It really just fits with the Radiohead style.
So here's the actual project. Ooh, pretty crazy, right? So something I noticed in OK Computer was like a plethora of these creepy vocal samples. Now I didn't get exactly creepy ones, but I did use a vocal sample here along with a string pad in order to create a nice atmosphere. So that sounds pretty snazzy, doesn't it? Also did throw in some backing vocals in here that might sound a little haunting to the keen ear. Wow, I am such a good singer. I'm okay, actually. It's not that bad.
So when I wrote the song, it did happen to be written on the acoustic. You know, there's that really iconic, like bright, slightly distorted electric guitar, and I couldn't quite mimic the sound, but I got it quite close to play a lot of the lead parts. So I'll play some of that for you now.
Oh, and here's one of the more notable parts. I have this drum sample here in which I added a bit crusher to remind us a little bit of that airbag intro. Also notice that there's a delay put on there as well. The bass lines aren't only extremely skillful and tasteful, but they're also extremely catchy in OK Computer, and I wanted to try to get some of that, and I think I get some of it in the bass. I'll play some of that here as well. Now, Subterranean Homesick Alien finds another appearance here when kind of like in the drum beat generally, I tried to use kind of like that swing feel found in Subterranean Homesick Alien. And I think the strings that I put together in this final chorus are actually quite charming as well. There's definitely a lot of swelling, beautiful strings in the arrangements of OK Computer as well. Welcome back to Guess What Nightwalk did in the outro. Did he A, cry incessantly, B, add a bunch of wacky synths doing wacky stuff, C, put in his cat meowing, or D, scream like an idiot? If you guess C, you're an idiot. If you guess D, you're correct. So I put the screaming voice outro. I bit crushed my voice super hard to sound distorted, and then threw that over a grandiose rock outro to just give the flair of drama that is found sprinkled throughout the album. Definitely think the vocals generally were the biggest struggle for me in this, and I don't really think I captured the Thom Yorke feel, but I tried my best. I'm going to be posting the instrumental as well separately to the completed song here, and also have the lyrics in the description. For production, I tried to utilize a lot of reverb. The album was originally recorded in this big empty mansion, as far as I'm aware. That's what gave it that haunted, spacious feel, but artificially you can kind of do that through adding reverb. I also added some like robotic tints to the vocals here and there to shout out Fitter Happier. I'll play the song for you in a second, but if you enjoyed the video, please give me a like and consider subscribing, and a like would be greatly appreciated. And if you like what you hear, I'll link some of my original music and you guys can go check that out too. Hope you have a fantastic day. Peace.